Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 1 of the Sweet Life Cafe Bible study. I'm very excited that you've decided to join me again on this journey. And this week, I'm excited to say that our first lesson topic, it's called Life is Sweet When We Trust God. And our Bible verse this week is going to be Proverbs 28, verse 26. And on this email that you're receiving today, I'll include the link for those of you following us online. Feel free to print that out, that PDF file out, and you can use it this week while we are studying Trusting God. I'll read that to you right now. Proverbs 28 verse 26 says, "Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe." And this week, while we're talking about trusting God and while I was reflecting on what I'm going to teach on Wednesday and Sunday, it got me thinking a lot about what do we need to do to trust God? And usually that begins by having a strong faith. But when we are asked to trust God, during those times in our life when we feel like whatever we're dealing with, we have to put our trust in Him, they tend to be difficult times. And sometimes, if you're like me and you like to control everything around you, trying to fix everything, putting your trust in something that you can't see is difficult. So I wanted to back up a little bit and tell you a little story. It kind of came to my mind when I was reading this lesson. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Laurel Caverns or not, but my husband and I took our kids there a couple weeks ago, and we've done the tour a few times. But there's this one part of Laurel Caverns where you go into this hallway, and it's deep underground, and it's pitch black, it's dark. And to get through this hallway, the guide will say you have to make noise. He said, clap your hands, stamp your feet, because that's what turns the lights on. So there will be a group of 25 people in the pitch dark, and we're going through this real tight cavern hallway, and to see what is in front of you, you have to go around clapping your hands for the lights to come on. And it got me thinking while I was there that, it's kind of like this lesson. If you're at a time in your life where you feel like you're climbing a mountain and nothing is working out, you are depleted, you have nothing left, you feel like you've done all you can, and those are times where I feel like sometimes, if we're being honest with ourselves, it's hard to say, hey, God, can you do this? Can you help me here? It's just a difficult time to grab onto something that you can't see. And I think that's where this lesson comes in handy, because those are times where you're testing your faith. You're telling yourself, this is when my faith needs to be stronger. And if you can't rely on the faith that you have, it's okay to reach out to other people. And that's what got me thinking, me clapping my hands in this dark cavern wasn't going to be the only noise that could bring this light on. All 25 of us had to clap our hands to make this light go on. So I think that's what God's telling us here, that, if you're walking through a difficult time in your life where you feel like maybe your faith isn't strong enough, that you can't fully trust God, then that's okay, because God's putting all these other people around you to clap their hands or to lift you up in prayer, to help you lean on God, to trust Him. And that's why God created all of us. That's why God puts these people in our paths. And like the study before this, if you followed us, He put those sunshine friends in your life, because sometimes it takes more than us to lean on God, and we need other people to help us on our journey where we're walking through faith. If you have friends that are going through a difficult time and they're lost, maybe God's putting you in their pathway so that you can shine your light. And that's what made me think of these flashlights. My kids love them. But, for the flashlight to work, you need to have the batteries. And, God's telling us that for us to shine our light, we need to fill ourselves, we need to energize ourselves with His Word, and read the Bible, and go to church, and to walk in faith. And although this word faith, this walking in faith, is an invisible thing, it takes a team, it takes a group, it takes Bible studies like this, so that we can all encourage each other on this journey, so that when one of us might feel weak, we can lift that person up. And so this week, I kind of want you to think about In my house, I have to keep things simple. And right now with school starting, we have a lot of things going on. My kids struggle with the beginning of school for a lot of reasons, but one of them is anxiety. And I've been trying to teach them this lesson, so I'm going to share it with you. And this week, I want you to think about how you would respond. But I tell my kids this. I'm going to write it down here because this is what I write in my house and I have it up. But you need to keep in mind that you want your faith to be greater than what? And I use the greater than sign like in math. I don't know if you could see that. If it's backwards, I'm not sure. But faith. You want your faith to be greater than what? In our house, my kids want their faith to be greater than their fears. So we have signs that say, our faith is greater than our fears. Can you see that? So this week, as we go on to our lesson on Wednesday and when I teach on Sunday at church, I want you to keep in mind, what are you asking God? What do you want your faith to be greater than, so that we can learn to trust Him better? And I'm going to touch upon some things about that on Wednesday and Sunday that I hope will help you. And as we move on into this week, I would like you to kind of think about that. What are you struggling with right now that's holding you back from making your faith be greater than whatever this is? And I'm hoping that if you take some days to think about that and pray about it, then we're going to open up some discussions on that topic later this week. So I am looking forward to seeing all of you on Wednesday or Sunday, and I'm excited that we are now kicking off week 1 at the Sweet Life Cafe, and I hope this week you'll pray for everyone around you. We have so many things going on in the world right now with the weather and flooding, and just a lot of people are suffering. So please keep all those people in your prayers, and hopefully on Wednesday and Sunday we will come together again and have a great time. Have a wonderful week, everyone.